Welcome to Lit Happens, Saskatchewan's showcase of the literary talent of the province. We are out on location today at Murdog Apparel in the Midtown Plaza. It feels terrific to be here, and a perfect vibe to welcome my guest, Judith Silverthorne. Judith,
Hi.
welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here.
I am stoked you're here. I'm such a fan of yours, and I'm just glad that we can talk about your brand new, hot off the press book, Honoring the Buffalo.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about this little gem.
Well, it's been quite a few years in the making, actually. I've been working with an elder it's based on an oral story, oral legend, rather, from the Plains Cree people, and I worked with an elder on it. And he told me the story, then I wove, or rather the legend, and then I wove the story around it.
Nice.
And yeah, and the artist is also, he's also Cree, I believe, and we all kind of lived around the Quapaw Valley at different times of our lives and everything,
Wow.
and so it's kind of come together really nicely.
Wow, what inspired this? Something must have just motivated you to take this journey with this book.
Well, I think it was Ray LaValle himself, because as a wisdom keeper and all of that, he initiated me a lot into the various Plain Cree traditions and things. I started doing articles on him, and then we just became good friends, and he just taught me so much. And he said one day how much he was hoping that they could be the legends could be written down because
Nice.
they're being lost.
Wow,
And we decided to work on it on a collaboration.
nice.
Yeah.
So it's out there for a whole new generation
Yes.
to explore.
Yes, and it's written in English and Cree.
Really?
Yeah,
Great.
yeah, there's
That's a
Cree
nice
in there.
twist.
Yeah, and we're going to do a DVD on it as well, so it will be read in the three Cree dialects. So
Wow,
it'll be coming out soon, we hope.
fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is just a very small corner of what your writing world entails, because you have authored a number of books.
Yes.
And I'm hoping we can just sort of touch on the premise of most of them. I know the first one that springs to my mind is the Emily series. What I call the Emily series.
Yeah, and I call it the Secret series, but it's
Yeah.
both. It's the Emily Secret series for sure.
Yeah.
Based on Time Shift.
Yeah.
Girl from the present goes back into pioneer days and
Yeah.
has lots of adventures back there, and kind of mystery. I love mystery, so it's always has some mystery to it, and
Yeah.
a lot of time travel in that. And they're one of my favorite books. Yes.
Yes, they are.
Series.
They're a great series. And then there's, of course, your love of dinosaurs and that
Yes.
aspect of
Yes.
what you do.
Well, I have one son, and he was very much interested in dinosaurs when he was growing up. Well, he still is, for that matter. But
Yeah.
there weren't any fiction books out at that time when he was growing up.
Really?
Yeah, and so I started, thinking about stories, and I was working for the provincial government in the photo arts department, and they were taking photographs of the dinosaur dig down at East End with the T-Rex and things like that. And so there was all this material, and I thought, I'll just write one. And then I became so involved in it, I started writing the others, and then I started going back into dinosaur time. So the last three of the series are, my main character goes back into time, imagining what it would be like when the T-Rex were around. And
Wow, fabulous. And then the one that I just recently read, the ghost book.
oh yes, the Ghost of Government House.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that was such a terrific read.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm working on the sequel right now
Really?
too. Yeah, but I wrote that one because of Government House in Regina and the historic aspects, and they say it's haunted, and I'm sure it is. So.
So, what inspired that? Because did you have a haunting? Did you see a ghost? Did something obviously triggered?
Yeah, I've always believed in ghosts and things, and I've seen a number in my life, and I've certainly seen some there.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So, I guess what fascinates me the most about you is you write such a broad spectrum of books, and there's so much and you have a full-time career aside
Yes.
from all this, and I just can't wrap my brain around this. How are you doing it all? How's the balance going in the world of Judith?
No, not very well. Not very well at all. I am so struggling to get, when I'm working full time, so struggling to write anything. And then, of course, I like to get out and talk about my work and
Yes.
do readings and launches and things as well. But it's a real struggle, I have to say.
Yeah.
So I end up doing it either weekends, taking my holidays and that kind
Yeah.
of thing, and or else getting up really early in the morning and writing. But it's just not the way I'd like to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
And so what other irons are in the fire at the moment?
Well, aside from the sequel to the Ghost book, I actually have another one coming out next spring.
Oh.
It's a young adult novel this time.
Nice.
Called Convictions, based in the 1800s, about an all-female convict ship that is
Really?
sailing from England all the way to Australia and New Zealand.
Wow.
Yeah, they never get there, but which I guess I shouldn't say, but that's what it is. It's about the whole trip, because nobody's ever written anything about that
Well,
with an all-female ship on it. So
that sounds very intriguing.
I love history. I've got two adult nonfiction biographical books out too. So this kind of adds to it. And
Wow.
yeah.
Do you always see yourself writing? Do you think you'll ever stop? Is this something that's in your blood? that
Oh,
you're
it's
going to-
totally in my blood. It has been since I've been a little kid.
Yeah.
I have always been jotting little stories down and
Yeah.
telling stories to the family or whatever.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So it's I can't. I mean, I can certainly see myself retiring from my full-time
Eventually, yep.
job eventually, but I would never stop writing until I'm
Yeah.
can't write or see
Yes.
or move my hands anymore.
Yes. And we're running out of time, but you're so affluent in the writing community of Saskatchewan. What kind of feedback do you get? Do you
Oh.
get fan mail?
I do actually, not
Yeah.
very much, but I get some.
That's
yeah, and it's
nice.
really great. Yeah, and I have some that comes from other places in the world as well, not just Canada or even in the U.S. Yeah, students
Fabulous.
or kids or whatever want to know all about me, or they're doing a school project and they've chosen me or something like that, and the book sales are great, and it's really exciting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you're a bundle of energy. I'm glad we got you on the show.
Oh, thanks.
Do you have a website?
Yes, I do.
And what's that?
Just www.judithsilverthorne.ca.
Okay.
All one
And
word.
probably like a lot of creative people, you are active on social media to a
Yes.
degree.
I have Facebook. I do a little Twitter, not too much. I'm just getting into that, but
Yeah. The odd tweet and all that.
the odd tweet, yeah, but on Facebook. But mostly
Yeah.
it's my webpage, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I know we're out of time, but I do want to thank you for being with us today at Murdog, and you made the pilgrimage from Regina to Saskatoon,
Yes.
which was honorable, and
My pleasure.
yeah, and I will relish the moment when I can get you on again.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And that's all the time we have today for Lit Happens. If you enjoyed today's segment, you can see previous segments on Shaw TV or on my website, www.westfunk.ca, and you can connect with us online on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So I'll see you next time on Lit Happens.